Malcolm X, born Malcolm Little, had a challenging childhood marked by poverty, racial violence, and family tragedy, which profoundly shaped his later activism. Early life and family 1925–1939. May 19, 1925, Malcolm Little was born in Omaha, Nebraska, the fourth of 7 children to Earl Little and Louise Norton Little. His father, Earl, was a Baptist minister and an ardent supporter of Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association (UNIA), advocating for black nationalism. This activism led to frequent harassment from white supremacist groups like the Ku Klux Klan and the Black Legion. 1926–1928, the family moved from Omaha to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then to Lansing, Michigan, seeking to escape the constant threats. 1929, their home in Lansing was firebombed, likely by white supremacists. September 28, 1931, Malcolm's father, Earl Little, was found dead, run over by a streetcar. While officially ruled an accident, Malcolm and his family believed he was murdered by white supremacists. This event had a devastating impact on the family. Following his father's death, the family struggled financially, relying on public assistance. 1938, Malcolm was expelled from West Junior High School and sent to a juvenile detention home in Mason, Michigan. December 23, 1939, his mother, Louise, suffering from a nervous breakdown and the immense strain of raising her children alone, was committed to Kalamazoo State Mental Hospital, where she remained for 26 years. The children were subsequently separated and placed in various foster homes. Adolescence and early adulthood 1939–1946. Despite excelling in school and being elected class president, Malcolm encountered blatant racism. In 1939, an 8th-grade teacher discouraged his ambition to become a lawyer, telling him that it was no realistic goal for a nigger, and suggesting carpentry instead. This discriminatory remark deeply affected Malcolm and led him to lose interest in formal education. 1940, at the age of 15, Malcolm dropped out of school. He moved to Boston to live with his older half-sister, Ella Little Collins, who he admired as a proud black woman. During his teenage years and early 20s, Malcolm drifted into a life of petty crime in Boston and New York, engaging in activities such as gambling, drug dealing, and burglary. He became known by the nickname, Detroit Red, due to his reddish hair. 1946, Malcolm was arrested and convicted of larceny and burglary, receiving a sentence of 8 to 10 years in prison. This incarceration became a pivotal turning point in his life, as it was during this time that he began his extensive self-education and was introduced to the teachings of the Nation of Islam. After being incarcerated in 1946 for larceny and burglary, Malcolm Little's life took a significant turn. While in prison, he engaged in extensive self-education and was introduced to the teachings of the Nation of Islam (NOI) by his brother, Reginald, who had already become a member. Conversion and rise within the Nation of Islam 1946–1964. 1948, Malcolm's brother Reginald, also incarcerated, influenced his decision to join the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam, an African-American movement, combined elements of Islam with black nationalism, advocating for race pride and self-reliance among black people. They believed that white people were devils, and sought to establish a separate black nation. 1950s, Malcolm adopted the surname X to symbolize his unknown African ancestral name, rejecting the white slavemaster name of Little. Upon his parole in August 1952, Malcolm X visited Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam, in Chicago. He quickly rose through the ranks due to his charisma and eloquence. June 1953, he was named Assistant Minister of the nation's Temple No. 1 in Detroit. Later that year, he established Temple No. 11 in Boston. March 1954, he expanded Temple No. 12 in Philadelphia. May 1954, he was selected to lead Temple No. 7 in Harlem, which became the largest and most prestigious temple after the Chicago headquarters. Throughout 1955, Malcolm X continued successful recruitment, establishing temples in Springfield, Massachusetts No. 13, Hartford, Connecticut No. 14, and Atlanta No. 15. During this period, Malcolm X became one of the Nation of Islam's most influential leaders and a prominent national spokesperson. He articulated concepts of race pride and black nationalism, electrifying urban audiences with his speeches. He encouraged black Americans to be proud of their heritage and to build strong communities, advocating for self-defense and arguing that what was rightfully theirs should be achieved, by any means necessary. Split from the Nation of Islam and later years 1964–1965. By 1963, tensions grew between Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad over the political direction of the nation. Malcolm urged the nation to become more involved in the burgeoning civil rights protests, rather than remaining on the sidelines. March 1964, Malcolm X publicly announced his departure from the Nation of Islam, citing deep disagreements with Elijah Muhammad, including revelations of Muhammad's philandering. Following his departure, he embarked on a significant transformation, undertaking the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca in April 1964. This experience was profoundly transformative, as he witnessed Muslims of all races interacting with equality and unity. It led him to abandon his previous separatist views and embrace orthodox Sunni Islam, adopting the name El-Hajj Malik el-Shabazz. He came to believe that Islam had the power to transcend racial divisions and could offer a solution to racial problems in America. After Mecca, he traveled to the Middle East, Africa, and Europe, where he deepened his commitment to Pan-Africanism and international solidarity, connecting the African American struggle for freedom with global movements for decolonization and human rights. In March 1964, he founded the Muslim Mosque, Inc. MMI as his religious organization. In June 1964, he established the Organization of Afro-American Unity (OAAU), a secular organization aimed at internationalizing the plight of Black Americans and advocating for human rights. He sought to bring the issue of human rights violations against Black people in the United States before the United Nations. During this period, he began to express a desire to work more closely with the mainstream civil rights movement, although he continued to advocate for self-defense. His public denunciation of the Nation of Islam as a fraudulent and racist pseudo-religion intensified the conflict between him and the organization. February 14, 1965, his home was firebombed. February 21, 1965, Malcolm X was assassinated while preparing to address the Organization of Afro-American Unity at the Audubon Ballroom in Manhattan, New York City. He was shot multiple times.